What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming to the first live Snakes and a Fat Man that we decided to do. Now, a couple of things that you have to know now. It's going to be live all the time now, but the release dates are going to be on the 1st and the 15th of every month, just like they've always been with the recorded show. And really, I should have checked because I know that there's no less than 4 other reptile podcasts going on right now. So honestly, I'll be surprised if we get anybody. Okay. However, the thing that you should realize is that out of those 4 podcasts that are going on, we are the only handy capable reptile podcast that's out there right now. So thank you everybody that showed up for showing up for the retards. So I appreciate you. Again, what's up, guys? Thanks again for the first live Snakes and a Fat Man show. So it's not really the first live. We did a Christmas show that was live maybe a year or 2 ago, and I didn't really like it. Now, there's definitely going to be some glitches that happen tonight. I mean, I don't have the fart noises and the thumbs up animations loaded for the 15 minutes thing. There's some sponsors that I haven't loaded up the commercials for, so I'll just be kind of telling you about them. There's a lot to do because I'm also working on the Fatman Nation website that's going to launch this week, and everything is basically switching over to the Fatman Nation. Most of the socials have already switched over. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, I'm doing X. I'm doing X now, okay? Because I just figured, why not? Nobody else is doing it. And I know a lot of reptile people don't even use fucking Twitter, but who the fuck cares? We're gonna use it, okay? We got a lot of shit to say here. Don't forget also that the premiere of My One Black Friend and My One White Friend is happening on April 14th. That's a Sunday, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock at night. So this way we don't got to get yelled at that fucking kids are watching or any of this other bullshit. We can be as offensive as we want. And me and Duncan got a lot of shit to say for that as well. So I appreciate everybody coming. Let's just go right off the bat here. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Chimera. Listen, you just got to learn what you don't know about having a ball python business. Otherwise, you're going to fail. Okay. Business sucks for a lot of you right now, but it doesn't suck for Chimera. So give them a shout out on Chimera Reptile on Instagram and chimerareptile.com just on the web. Also, Redline Shipping. Listen, I gotta fucking show it off. Okay. Gotta show it off. My little F-Bag 2000. I gotta admit that when Robin first told me about this idea, I was like, I don't know. Like, it's a fucking, it's a fanny pack from like the late 80s, early 90s. I'm not going to use it. However, this thing is cool as shit, and I use it every fucking day. So go over to redlineshipping.com, pick yourself up a fanny pack. Also, the 2 Snakes and a Fat Man, look at that. One there and one there. They're going to be, those patches are going to be available exclusively on the fatmannation.com. They may show up at a couple of reptile shows around the country due to some friends that are offering to sell them at their thing. And I'm just saying, I'm selling them for $5 a piece. I know that sucks. I know that sucks. It should just be an advertising thing. However, I think they're like the new stickers, right? So fucking, I'm not gonna trade patches with you. I'm not gonna fucking trade stickers with you. Stickers and these patches will be available on the website. Okay, listen, Fat Man got to pay the bills somehow or another. Speaking about paying the bills, if you feel like this dumb show deserves a super chat tonight, throw a super chat my way. I'm not going to use it to feed my animals or anything. Oh, fuck it. I'm going to be honest with you. I make a pretty good living. I'm not going to fucking use it to feed Izzy. Okay. I have money from my job to actually do that, which is what a lot of you should really be bragging about, is that you actually make more money from your job than your dumb reptile business. But you're never going to do that. Okay. So listen, I make a pretty good living. I could afford to feed Izzy, on my own. But drop a super chat anyway. Fucking show me that you're proud of me. Show me that you're showing support for the old fat man, who's the only handicap doing a live show on this dumb hobby, right? So fucking look, see, I'm in a wheelchair, right? How do you like that? All right. How do you like that, Sean Bradley? You're not the only one, right? Anyway, we were talking about Redline. Use the code Robin60 for 60% off your first 2 shipments with Redline, and then type in the code Fatman5 to get an additional $5 off any other shipping that you do. Listen, you don't only have to ship reptiles with Redline. You could ship, all sorts of dry goods. You could ship merchandise. You could do everything with them. So fucking go ahead and do it. Matter of fact, I use Redline to ship the 15-minute posters or 15-minute DVDs. I use them for everything that I ship. So anyway, all right, Fat Man Nation. I just felt like there should be one centralized place where you could go and just get everything Fat Man. Okay, so all the shows will be on there. But all the shows are on YouTube, yes. But fucking all the shows and the history of the shows will be on Fat Man Nation. All the merchandise for every show will end up being on Fat Man Nation. Eventually, I'm still figuring out how to do all that. One man band, and I think that's really that's what it's going to be all about now. We're going to have shirts soon. We're going to do charities. Okay. Speaking of charities, we did the Hero Company charity. We ended up selling like 55 bracelets, I think, and my commission was like, I don't know, $93 or whatever. I am gonna double that and give $200 back to the Hero Company. I'm gonna fucking put the check on Instagram so you have proof of it. I'm gonna make sure that everybody is, that I'm transparent with all the money, and we're just gonna give back to all these charities. The next charity that's coming up is St. Jude's. You're gonna be able to learn about that on the fatmannation.com, where you could go buy a St. Jude's shirt or buy some other kind of merch like a travel mug or all the these other things that are getting pimped out these days with the St. Jude's logo, and go support children's cancer research. Okay, like don't be a dick. Like fucking just there's a couple of charities that you could give to that are worth actually giving it to, and they're not spending the money on administration and everything else. St. Jude's is one of them. The Hero Company is another one of them. All right, so we got a bunch of people in here. I'm going to just fucking call you people out right now, because I know that the only reason you're here is to get validation and have your name mentioned on a fucking handicap podcast. And now you could be like, oh, I'm not, I'm not against handicapped people. I support Chris. Well, thank you very much. Shauna Corner, what's up? Thank you she's actually first. Fucking look at that. Fucking our 15 minutes of lane guest is here. Just add into the chat. Chris Sanchez over at East Valley Exotics. Aaron Klein, what's up? Arvin, Game of Thrones. VIP Morse is here. Fucking Gerald, what's up, brother? Fucking Val is here. What's going on, Val? Dwight the Pie Man. I kind of like that name, pal. Fucking, it's a good name. The Pie Man. I wish people would call me the Pie Man. Oh, World Pythons, you're new. Thank you for stopping by. Look at this. My fucking gorgeous chick is here. Thank you, Krisha, for coming and hanging out and supporting your handicapped boyfriend. Justin Campbell is here. Fucking what's going on, Justin? Chapo's balls are here. He was at the show last night, and we actually had a good time with Chapo. Serenity Dragons, gotta fucking love you for fucking coming to these things again. I appreciate you. Fucking look at this, Shannon Wentz. What's up, Red? What's going on? How are you doing? You're just, I see you're still killing it with Shan's amaze balls. Okay. DNA Reptilia, one of the first fucking guys that were on the Snakes and the Fat Man Patreon. And I appreciate that. Like, look at this. One of my ride or dies, fucking Samson Rivera. Fucking what's in your cup? He is going to be listed on Friends of the Fat Man Nation. So I haven't told him about that yet, but he's going to be there. Fucking Dick. What's going on, Dick? Creative Coralofis. Danny Cadena. See, this bullshit, Danny, because I just saw you on one of the other podcasts that didn't have any handicapped people on. Look, I'm not saying that these other podcasts are any type of they don't have any type of phobia against handicapped people, but I'm just saying that there's no handicapped people on these fucking shows. Okay, let's see who else we got here. Look at this. Shannon fucking gives me $5. Shannon, you fucking rock. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Let's look, my boy Lizard Morse here. What's going on, Luke? Fucking geeky gecko. Not I was gonna call you geeky geckos because we're gonna be talking about them tonight. Gecko Diva, Crystal, thank you. I appreciate you coming here. TJ Hutch Exotics, fucking awesome. No way is Bill Stiegel here. See, I know that Bill Stiegel is here just because I'm handicapped, because I know his boy is doing another show on a different channel somewhere tonight. So fucking everybody feel free to give Bill a hard time about that. Let's see what else. Bill Stiegel gives $50. Never mind. Don't worry about giving Bill a hard time. Okay. Bill fucking rocks. Bill is fucking one of my ride or dies. I love Bill to death. 319 Reptiles. What's going on? Mike's Monitors. What's up there, buddy? How you doing? The Courtney. Look at that. The Courtney. Okay, that's I don't know. All right, it's a little different. Yeah, chat is kind of, I'm gonna use this word tonight. Popping. Fucking popping. Leviathan Snakes is here. Fucking look, I can't even complain. With so many other podcasts going on, I can't. There's no way I could even complain. Look at this. Fucking Eric Markstar. I want to mention two things. Eric right now just launched Northeast Feeders. That's through Exotic Design Reptiles. Go check out their Facebook page for deals on rats and everything else that you need to feed you stupid ball pythons. Okay, so that, and I want to say what's up to Recoil Reptiles, because they just moved into a new facility. Actually, it's close to Wilbank's facility, and they're doing Recoil Reptiles full time now. So I definitely could appreciate them doing that. Bohemian Exotics, what's up, Carissa? How are you? I've never seen you on one of my shows. I've seen you on Brian's show, I think, on MJ's show. 319, what's going on, man? Let's see. And I think that's it for now. Okay. So, all right. So, again, the release schedule is still going to be on the 1st and the 15th of every month. Okay. And so it's not always going to be on a Monday night. It could be on a Tuesday night. It could be on a Saturday night. It could be on a Thursday night. So just you got to just keep up on the Fatman Nation socials to kind of just see what's going on with that. But the 1st and the 15th, I'm going to stick with those release dates just because it's easier. And this way, I'm not directly going up against any one particular person. Okay, because I mean, there's already 40 of these things a week, right? But I just figured, listen, I got tired of editing. I got tired of spending my time doing that when I have a fucking hot girlfriend that I could spend time with instead. So this is the non-edited Chris is getting laid version of the Fat Man. So fucking we don't want to spend all the time editing anymore. I will still do one-off videos though that I hope you guys like and listen to. And we're just gonna go from there. Now we're gonna do. I mean, things are gonna move relatively quicker tonight, right? Because I don't have to rant about anything, or I don't. If I feel like ranting, I'm gonna rant, but I don't have a rant lined up for tonight. But I got Chris Sanchez here from East Valley, who's fucking just a cool dude, and he actually is a host on the Lamest podcast. That's on Friday nights, usually on VIP Morse Canada channel, their YouTube channel. And Chris was the only host that hasn't been on a 15 minutes of lame yet. So I figure, we gotta have Chris on, and we gotta make that happen. Now, clutch, just so you know. Let's see. Well, I got to pull up the. You know what I need? One of you can maybe help me out. I need a back end person. I need like a guy in a chair or a chick in a chair. I don't give a fuck. So I don't have to keep track of doing all this backstage production shit. But listen, Clutch, it's the best ball python management software out there because it's by Justin, right? And if Justin is pimping out something, it's just like Apple pimping out something. You know that it's just going to work. So everybody head on over to clutch.io, that's CLTH.io. And we'll try and get some more people on this. I mean, all these fucking ball python management software things have a problem, and that problem is your initial input into it, right? Because who the fuck wants to take the time to input 200 fucking animals on? Okay, that's a pain in the ass. You're never going to do that. But if you start using Clutch when you have like 3 or 4 animals and make it part of your progression for entering ball pythons into your collection, you'll be using it and you'll be loving it. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Clutch.io, go check it out. All right, so let's see. Let's get rid of this and put it back to me, okay? Because it's all about me. Just so everybody remembers, I'm handicapped, still doing the show. Okay, still doing the live. Fucking one leg. Still doing the live, fucking rolling all over the place, fucking Sean Bradley style. Now we're gonna bring Chris out, and normally, I know there's a couple of other podcasts out there saying that their new breeder segment is the most influential in the reptile podcasting world, right? But that's not true, right? Like, come on, all right, come on, all right. The numbers don't lie. The amount of support by all the major people behind 15 minutes don't lie. And I'll tell you what, when somebody takes a year out of their life to make a movie about a segment on your show, then you could fucking step to me. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right, 15 minutes of lane, greatest fucking new breeder segment in the hobby. And listen, we're gonna get started now.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Nation the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
What's up, guys? It's Justin at Canova. For the past 5 years, 15 Minutes of Lame has become a launch pad for so many new successful breeders and a badge of honor in this industry. It's been so amazing to watch the passion and dedication you guys have and to watch your businesses grow. Just remember, the next me might be you.
15 Minutes of Lame!
Look who I got here. I have the fucking terrorist. Fucking Chris Sanchez.
How you doing, man?
Right off the bat, what's up with that beard, man? Do you know that makes you look either Amish or like a terrorist? Which would you prefer that I refer to?
I mean, we got the countdown going to be going, so I mean, we'll see what happens when we get to 0, right?
Relax, it's not going yet. Okay, relax. We got time. We got time. Does your wife dig that beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, flavor saver, right?
Damn right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Right? My man. Right. All right, Chris Sanchez, East Valley Exotics. Fucking, how are you, brother?
I'm good. How about yourself, man?
Yeah, see, don't ask me that because I'm just doing this dumb shit. Like, fucking, obviously, I'm not great. I'm a solid 7, right? But I'm still doing this dumb show. So, but hot girlfriend. So I'm gonna up that. Solid 9. Solid 9.
There you go.
You're married, right?
Correct.
Kids?
Stepson, 17.
Oh, so not a real son. Do you not love him as much?
Only Step, right?
Yeah, it's only Step, right? Like
No,
fucking.
I'm just messing. He's a good kid.
Nah, all good. Okay, well, you know how this works.
Yep.
You're gonna have 15 minutes to pimp your shit, and that's gonna start right about now. So fucking talk to me. What's the deal with the name?
So initially, we were actually going to open up a shop. So we wanted something not like morphs or balls or something like that. So we went with East Valley Exotics. We are in the East Valley in Arizona.
All right.
So we went with that. The first letters of East Valley Exotics is EVE. So Eve, that's where the apple and the snake come from.
That's kind of a stretch, huh? Like, I mean,
No,
who's gonna put that together, really.
If you're in the know, I'm not going to go Brian Kosko on you, but if you're in the know.
Oh, are you a Jesus guy?
I am.
Oh, I didn't know that you were a Jesus guy based off the lamest chat, considering that you basically just told me that your fucking beard was a pussy flavor saver, and you never really mentioned Jesus in the lamest chat. So
Jesus loves sinners. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, yes, he does, right? That's what I'm saying. All right. Guaranteed ticket to heaven. All right. You running this like a business or a hobby right now?
So we do run this as a business. Our snakes, we do not as big as the rats. So when we first started this, there was a huge rat shortage. You couldn't find rats anywhere. Like people were traveling to other states to get rats.
Right.
So we decided to make that travel. We bought a bunch, probably dropped like $1,000 on rats, came back, built a crap ton of racks for these rats and started producing them actually pretty large scale. So,
all right. Well,
that's the bulk of it. We do the snakes as well. We have a variety of different colubrids as well as the ball pythons. So we're not just strictly ball pythons here.
Right. Okay, good. But you're ball python enough to have to show off the racks in the back, like whenever you come on any type of podcast.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, I get it. I get it. I used to do that too. We used to have like 2 fucking freedom breeders, and we used to fucking kitty corner them to make it look like we had a giant shop, like until we actually got a giant shop. Gotcha. So I get it. All right.
One day I'll be cool enough to have the studio like you.
I'm not, dude. This is a part of my living room. It's not even a fucking studio. Okay, it's literally just part of my living room. So 5-year plan for East Valley Exotics. What's going on? Are you an LLC? I believe you are, right?
Yes, we are.
Okay, so you're kind of taking it serious already. So what's the 5-year plan?
5-year plan is, I mean, I don't want to like do this like to quit my job. I have a pretty good job. This is just supplemental. If I can make, good money on this to stack away for retirement, then even better.
Right.
But, we do take it serious. We want this to be something that we can build up. So, I mean, maybe we do retire. We can just keep carrying on with this. We want to start doing the show circuit soon. We're in Arizona. There's really only 2 shows out here. So we would be having to travel.
Right.
For that. But, I mean, basically, you take it serious, others hopefully take you serious as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, you treat it like a business, it'll pay off like a business, right?
Right.
So, first year, is this your first year breeding or no?
No, this is actually our 2nd year breeding. So we got some stuff. I used to do years ago with the reptiles when I got out of the military, and I got my first snakes actually ever from Garrett DeMeyer.
Oh, all right, cool. Garrett.
Awesome. Yeah, he's a good guy. So when we restarted this, we actually got our first snakes from him as well.
Okay.
We did go the proven breeder route, and we got 4 snakes from him.
Right.
And we've quickly actually, a lot of the stuff we have now is stuff that we've actually produced that we're raising up. And we had a different target that we were going on when we first initially started. But as the market's changed and different things have come in, with the economy and all that, we've kind of taken in a different direction. We wanted to basically supply the pet side and not necessarily all the high end stuff for when we go to the shows, because,
Right.
$500 range stuff sells pretty well.
Right. But let me ask you, have you noticed that more people than ever are doing that now? Okay, like more
Yes.
people like we're going to go to the pet side because we can't sell our $5,000 snake even if we produced one, right? Because nobody's ever heard of us, right? Are you worried that that market is going to get just as saturated? The problem is that market is going to get saturated quicker than the $5,000 snake market because everybody could afford a $500 snake, right?
Right.
So what's your plan for going forward once that type of model hits an inflection point?
So that's when we lift and shift and basically work on not doing everything, but focusing down on kind of niching it down to certain projects. That way we can perfect those and kind of be the go-to guys for those projects.
That's very military. That's when we do the lift and switch, right?
Yeah,
But
lift and
like,
shift.
yeah, you know, you just reminded me of there is Jay from Green Line.
Oh, don't say that.
He always used to say, "We'll just hang out at the tree line and figure it out," you know, like fucking. And the lift and switch thing just kind of gave me Jay vibes. Not saying anything about Jay. Jay is fucking cool. Fucking still love Jay. So it's all good. Now, how much money have you put into this since you started it?
So we've put about 70,000 so far over the last couple of years. The big bulk of that has actually gone into the rats.
Okay. So you're not buying $8,000 ball pythons from Justin and shit like that.
Not from Justin. No, we did buy some higher end males over the last couple of years to start putting into some of the females we have. But
That's
just
funny.
nothing from Justin
You actually say we're buying high end males to put into some of the females that we have, right?
Insertion.
That's a way to phrase it. Yeah, that's fucking cool. All right.
Trying to paint a picture.
Yeah, no, I got it. I'm gonna put it into my girlfriend in 2 weeks. So fucking I get it. I get it. It's fucking awesome. Okay. Yeah, Sean is right. Don't forget to smash the like buttons, mom, and fucking give us a few likes and shit because this is the first show. So again, appreciate all you people for coming. All right, so talk to me about what made you think this could be a moneymaker, because out of that 70 grand, how much money have you gotten back so far? Because you don't do, you know.
Yeah. Local has been excellent for us.
Okay.
So we are on Morph Market. We do have a website. But a lot of our sales are through like groups, Facebook groups and stuff like that. People do find us on Morph Market and then they'll hit us up that way.
Right.
But so far to date, we've probably brought in about 45,000.
Yeah, 45 grand out of 70 grand in 2 years.
Yeah.
You're fucking killing it right now, dude.
I'm telling you, rats are, and we do sell the snakes.
Right? Rats are with that. That's why this thing that Eric Markstow is doing with the Northeast feeders is such a big deal, because that's the way to go. You definitely made more money on the rats than you have on the snakes, right?
Oh yeah. And that's the thing, is like a lot of our snakes weren't really like high end, more like, you know, between $200 and $500 range is what we are kind of at right now.
Right.
But the rats, I mean, everybody's got to feed their snakes.
So
we were doing a big account actually where they were buying a few thousand a month from us.
Fucking look at you go. Now, how are you handling working and supplying a couple of thousand rats to somebody else every month? Like, does your wife help out? Does your stepson help out?
Yes. So my wife is a big part of that. She does a lot of the cleaning, almost all of it out in the rat room. That's her thing. She's studied rats. She's learned rats. She could pick one up and tell you, you know, it's pregnant and all that. My stepson, he does waters. He dumps tubs. He's out there pressure washing tubs and stuff like that. So,
right.
It's a family thing.
So what branch of the service were you in?
In the Army.
In the Army. So you run shit like an Army, you know, soldier would? Like, are you like, get up at 5 a.m. and fucking clean those rat balls, you know, those rat bins and shit like that?
I'm a little nicer. I'm a little nicer than drill sergeants were, but yeah, we got to get things done.
All right. So now let's just do some sponsors. Again, I apologize to you, Chris, because we don't have the the animation's loaded up yet, but we will probably by the 15th. So listen, do you use ReptiChip?
I do not.
Fuck, man, why not? You're a veteran, just like JT. Why would you
nothing
not?
against it. I got a local. The Pro Coco guys are 2-hour drive south of me, and
let me tell you something, really. And I'm just gonna say this from the bottom of my heart, okay? Fuck Pro Coco, right? Fuck Pro Coco. Like, fuck him in the ass. I don't give a fuck about Pro Coco. Just fucking. It's just a shit copy of ReptiChip. That's all I'm saying. Fucking.
I will say it's not like the highest quality, but they shit and piss in it, and it does its job. So,
listen, I'm just saying, fucking. It's I mean, JT automatically gives you a fuck you. He might give you 2 fuck yous because you're an Army guy too. Like, what the fuck, dude?
I saw that coming.
Do you use Redline shipping?
Of course.
There you go. Okay. Fucking Robin does not give you a fuck you. Do you have a little F-Bag 2000 yet?
No, I'm sorry. I do not.
Dude.
I don't think I could pull it off.
Listen, go to fucking, listen, you can pull it off, okay? If a handicapped motherfucker like me, and I am handicapped, okay, could make use out of this bag, fucking use the fucking bag, okay? Plus, they got all the cool patches, and it is what it is. Fucking, okay, so Robin does not give you a fuck you. Have you ever used Liberty Business Services?
I've never heard of them until I've watched a couple of your shows, so no.
See, that bothers me. Fucking Kevin gives you a fuck you too. And Kevin's like the nicest dude ever. Okay. So fucking Kevin's still like, fuck you, man. All right. Have you ever bought anything from Reptile Deli?
I have not.
Dude, Brian's like, fuck you too. Okay. And this is really the last fuck you that Brian's going to be able to give because his contract expires this episode. So unless he signs up, again, we will see. But fucking Brian currently gives you a fuck you. Have you ever done anything with Chimera?
I've not, but I have been in their Discord, their circle of trust thing that they got going on.
So you're in the circle of trust, but you're not paying them for anything.
No.
Listen, Patrick gives you a fuck you. All right, you're
fine,
basically using Patrick. You're using my friend Patrick, man. That's all you're doing right now. Okay. So you're not helping him out at all. Do you have a sea serpent's rack in your fucking?
I have 2.
You have 2. All right.
I do.
All right. So
the hatchling tubs.
So are they not as cool as the ARSs? That's why you're not in front of them.
No, I did this for you. So
okay. Well, don't think I don't appreciate it. All right. So Chris Nettles does not give you a fuck you. Did I forget anybody? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, have you ever used Stewart Design to do your logo? I don't think you have because I've seen your logo. It doesn't look like a Stewart Design logo.
It is definitely not. But that is in the future.
That is in the future, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We got to get some branding and stuff done. So
well, until it happens, fucking my boy Blake gives you a big old fuck you. Listen, let's see. You do shed testing, right?
Yes, I actually have, and Charlie has broken my heart a couple times. So,
well, yeah, but it's not Charlie's fault because you're only buying $300 to $500 snakes. What the fuck did you? Did you think you were gonna fucking hit the lotto on any of those?
I dropped some money on the one that I sent him recently, and it didn't come back with good news. So,
all right. Well, have you ever bought a snake from Justin?
No.
Yeah, Justin gives you a fuck you. So you probably don't use clutch, right?
I did try it out, but like you mentioned, that inputting all the animals and stuff was a pain in the butt.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
There needs to be a way to just take a picture of a fucking animal. The fucking AI knows exactly what that fucking animal is, and it enters it in for you. That would be the genius step to do. I mean, I'm not telling everybody how to run their fucking shit, but that's really what's needed. All right, so you got very useful. Lot of fuck yous, man. You got a whole lot of fuck yous.
That's fine, I mean.
It's really not funny, all right. It's really not.
I'll redeem myself.
All right. Well, you think you're gonna redeem yourself with the stellar fucking interview that you're giving? All right. I don't know. Listen, why did you start the old Lamus podcast?
Well, we were going to do a show with someone else, but that fell through pretty quick.
You could say it with Jay. All right.
Yeah, with Jay.
Okay. Right. Fucking.
So.
All right.
all of us that kind of
too. Yeah.
Yeah, you were. So we kind of just did our own thing here with the guys that were supposed to be a part of that, and kind of pay homage to the 15 minutes of lame.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I love you guys. Okay. So Chris, where could people get in touch with you?
We're on Instagram at East Valley Exotics is our main spot.
Bam. It doesn't matter. Okay. Because now you're done. Okay.
I'm done.
You're just done. Fucking, and we're doing it live. So, but it's okay. Pimp out the lamest.
Chat. So you find us on the lamest chat on YouTube, where we're just a couple guys shooting the shit for about an hour or so on Friday nights typically.
Okay, good deal. And on what channel is that?
That is the channel is actually named the lamest chat now, so you can find it over there. Yeah,
all right.
It used to be VIP Morphs, but
okay, it's
right.
The lamest.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Fucking everybody go check them out. They are on a very short list of friends of the nation. Okay. So fucking go check them out. Also, while we're here anyway, pimp out Crystal's coffee show that you were just on, right?
Yeah, coffee and cresteds,
yeah, and then they talk about crested geckos, but you know, I mean, like literally nobody cares. But you know how nobody cares even more when you don't show off titties, like fucking when you show up looking fucking like you just woke up in fucking pajamas, nobody's gonna watch you. So
then you missed her most recent show.
No, I saw that because I talked to her ahead of time. I talked to her about that.
I'd say she took your advice to heart.
But the other girl was still like, you know, like a little like frumpy, like fucking like, hey, you know, I told him, I was like, when you watch a morning show like Good Morning America, none of the people are fucking looking like they're rolling out of bed and getting in front of the fucking camera, right? They all fucking look nice. They all fucking look like, you know, you want to fuck them. And yeah, I don't know. I just think that that's a big part of it. All right. Do you think I would get by, you know, with just like all this if I just rolled out of bed? All right. No, I wouldn't. All right. So I apply the same rules for me. Listen, Chris, thank you so much. You know, go do, you know, dinner with your wife and family. Go clean out the fucking rats. Just do whatever the fuck you ball python people fucking do. Because God knows that I don't know. And that's made clear by other podcast people every week. So, you know, what are you going to do, right? Chris, thank you so much for popping on.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you, man. It. And I better see you fucking running in the contest at the end of the year.
Oh, definitely.
It better happen. It better happen. And it better happen for all of you because you guys don't have Jay to pull on anymore. I'm going to make your reels and shit.
I'm going to make Paul make all my reels.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, Paul do it. Yeah. Fuck it. All right, Chris, thanks again, man.
All right. See you, man.
Fucking look at that. Fucking Chris Sanchez. Fucking East Valley Exotics. Fucking doesn't he look like every former military dude in every movie that a guy gets hired to like do a job? And you know, he's never really the main actor in the movie, but he's kind of like a side actor that you really like. Like that's Chris Sanchez, man. Okay. Anyway, let's fucking pay some other bills here. What do we got here? Let's see. Fucking let's see. Gray Rider Reptiles. Fucking boom. This episode is sponsored by Gray Rider Reptiles. Go fucking talk to Charlie. And I think you could get 10 or 15% off your first 2 orders if you mention the Fatman. Now I got a problem with Charlie because he's giving these fucking low-end podcast shitheads like 25% off. So what's up with that, Charlie? Fucking only 15? Like fucking help me out, man. Fucking don't be lumping me in with the fucking shitheads. I don't appreciate it. This episode is also brought to you by Sea Serpents. Fucking Sea Serpents. Chris Nettles, fucking probably one of the most awesome rack builders in the fucking hobby for like fucking, I don't know, like 15 years straight now. We used to buy from Chris when we used eyeballs. I think we had like 20 or 25 racks from Chris, and Chris was always awesome. And Chris really nailed down the whole PVC thing really early, and Chris just fucking kills it. So listen, Bye from Chris. Obviously I didn't load up Chris's commercial yet. That's why I'm doing it here. And let's see. We will. All right. Yeah, we already did clutch. We already did the fucking thing. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. I mean, this is really the reason that you're here, right? Is fucking, to see my fucking boy, Chris. Chris, get the fuck out of here. What are you still doing here? Fucking goddamn it. What's up, Adam Wickens?
What's up, Chris Eaton? How you doing?
Don't come in hot because then I got to match your energy, right? Like,
sorry.
And I don't.
Hey,
do that.
Chris.
Right?
Are you doing good?
Right?
You
yeah,
okay, Chris? You doing all right?
What are you gonna do? Right? Like fucking. Yeah. You got a good summer's day there today.
Today was good. It was 47 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a nice, 10 degrees Celsius day for us Canadians. And I was outside. I didn't have any reptiles outside, but I was, and I'm basically like a lizard, so that's fine.
Fucking killing it. That's fucking great. Fucking 40 degrees and you're happy. Fucking doesn't take much, huh?
No complaints. Here in Canada, we can take what we can get.
Well, and you just got back from somewhere pretty warm, right?
Yeah, I was in Jamaica, and then 2 weeks later I went to Cuba, and then now I'm back here, and it's cold, but there was sunshine, which is like that yellow ball in the sky. If you're from like the Northeast, like you are, that's what that is. That's the sunshine. That's what it's called.
Yeah, no, I really hate it. Right? Like, what did Colin Quinn say? He's like, when people just come up to you on like the elevator and they're like, "How do you like this sun, huh?" And you're like, "Oh, apparently not as much as you do." All right, like I just think it's a normal day out, and you're like a worshiper of Ra all of a sudden, and you're fucking trying to get me to love the sun. Have you ever been down to New York?
So I live 20 minutes from New York State, which is
okay.
But I've never been to New York City. No.
Okay, gotcha. And it's funny because when I first met you, you hold the distinction of being one of the last people to see me with two legs, right?
Yeah, so I don't know if it was the last picture you ever took standing in two legs, but
it actually was. Yeah, it was.
with me. And then the next week you started working at IHOP, and it was like the whole thing. So yeah.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, they hire you at IHOP, and fucking, you're very surprised when they do it. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about. That was actually the first time we met in person, and you were tall at that point, and then now in the chair, I can look like we're like the same height, so it's perfect.
Dude, it's the worst thing ever. I don't know how you live like this. Okay, and the worst thing was, it's like I was going downstairs to do laundry the other day or last week. And I rolled up and I hit the button on the elevator. And when you look up to see what floor the elevator's on, that shit looked like it was 75 feet away from me, man. And I was just like, this is not the way I got to live the rest of my life. Okay.
Chris, you were like 5'9" or 5'10" on legs. Like, don't even talk to me. Like you're a towering person, bro. Like, I know that I'm like
fucking 6 feet, man. I'm fucking 6 feet. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Just because you're fucking like Gary Coleman didn't mean that fucking shit.
Hey man, bro, I'm the same height as Muggsy Bogues, so I could be in the NBA. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Okay.
Listen, actually, you're actually the same height that you were when I met you, and I can't even say that. So that's fucking fucking good for you. Okay. I'm actually at that same height a couple of times a day. When I have to reach for something, so it's hard, man. I gotta tell you, and my ass hurts all the time now, dude. It's like fucking, this is brutal. It's like I never thought your ass could actually hurt, but like my ass cheeks hurt now, and it's just the worst. It's the worst fucking thing ever. And I don't wish this on anybody, but
your ass hurts like a guy in a steam room half the time. I get it. I understand. I appreciate being on your podcast, and thank you so much for having me. Snakes and the Fat Man. I appreciate it.
Well, dude, I fucking love you. And we always got along, right? Like fucking, we got along. You were on the show 2.5 years ago, right? So fucking, we got along, back then. Funny thing about that picture is that's the last picture that I'll have ever of the last time that I stood up, and you were in it, which I was happy. All right. Garrick was in it, which I was happy. Right. A couple other guys were in it, and I was okay with that. But then it's Christian Geyer was in that picture too. And for people that don't know Christian guy was just accused. Actually, I think he was prosecuted of stealing a bunch of reptiles and drugging people and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like a picture with Jeffrey Epstein, right? Like, fucking, are you proud of it, or are you like embarrassed by it, right? Like you just don't know. Look, fucking Dick even said, he's like, fucking, look, the roofie dude. Yeah, yeah, that's him. Fucking, I got to tell you, he doesn't look like a roofie dude. You know, he just looks like, you know, kind of like a stoner, kind of like, you know, was he fanboying you up?
So I didn't know anything about this guy. I thought it was the same dude who worked at Nerd. Like when he messaged me that day when we were. So for those of you who don't know, we were at Reach Out Reptiles for Retic Fest.
Right.
And I didn't know who this guy was at all. And he sent me a picture of him licking my truck because you had to park in like an off-site parking, right? And I'm like, okay, I've never met this dude. I don't know who this dude is. So I have no relation to this dude. The only person I remember being in that picture was Blake Stewart, who I love that dude. He's great.
Right. Blake is awesome. Yeah.
Right. So it was me, you, and Blake, and then two other dudes. And I guess one of them was Christian, and maybe it might have been, maybe it was Garrett. I don't remember who it was. But
well, it was Garrick and then another black guy that I don't remember his name. But,
right. So I don't remember who else it was. But yeah, I have no I don't know anything about this whole thing. And Christian and I spoke one time on that day for a few hours. And yeah, so like
that's literally look, I copped out too. Fucking totally. Like fucking I was just like, I don't know this fucking guy. Okay, this is I never met him. But he came up to me like he knew me, you know, like fucking he was just like, Chris, what's up? Yeah, you know, he's fucking doing that fucking street handshake where he fucking hugs you.
Yeah.
I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? You know, like fucking but let me tell you something. I was in pain that whole time. The whole Retic Fest. Like fucking I was dying. And when they went upstairs to get the big Retic out, and they were like, you know, everybody come upstairs. I was like, fuck that. Like, I was the last one up the stairs because I was like, there's no way I'm going to let people see me struggle to get up the stairs because I'm a fat dude, right? So they're not going to think there's a problem with his leg. They're going to think like there's a problem with his heart or something. Like, fucking, that's immediately where they're going to go. They're going to be like, yeah, this fat fuck can't even walk up steps. But I got news for you. I could walk up steps, okay? But my leg was just fucking killing me. And funny thing is, we were talking about Blake. We went to Blake's house for dinner one night, and when I was coming home from Blake's, I just drove my car into a ditch. Like I just fucking literally just drove my car into it. I didn't drink at all that night, and it was just, you know, my leg was killing me, and I fucking tried to adjust it and right into the ditch. But fucking, what are you gonna do? You know, so do you normally go to those things like Retic Fest and fucking like Carpet Fest and Monitor Fest and shit like that down here?
No, so I like Garrett a lot. Like Garrett and I get along, and I think that he's like one of the good guys in the industry. So I've been to his place the time before. So not last year, the year before was my first time there. I got a Reach Out Reptiles tattoo, like the whole thing. And then Garrett, before that, invited me down. He's like, hey, man, come down, you know, do an episode with me and then film one for yourself. And then just stay an extra day, and then I'll show you around Pittsburgh. And to me, Pittsburgh's always been interesting because I'm a sports fan, right? Like I'm a big football fan. So it was cool. He showed me like the stadium and the whole thing. And I'm a Mac Miller fan. He showed me like Blue Slide Park. So for people under 25, I think that's the coolest thing in the world. And then I went to last year, I went to that thing, and then I'll go this year. But in terms of like the other fests, like I was invited to Turtle Fest, but it's a little bit far for me. It's in Florida.
Right. Yeah.
And then Monitor Fest, I have no idea where that is. So
that's in like Wisconsin or something.
Yeah, that seems like far. Like I go to
right?
Yeah, like I go to Minnesota for the build off, like Snake Discovery. We talked about that last time, and I'll go again this year because it's like the finals. I listened to our episode. We did this episode like 2.5 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. But yeah, in terms of going to the US for stuff, I go for big stuff that I'm invited to if it's not too far away. Basically, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not going back to Retic Fest ever again. I mean, I only got one leg left. There's no way I'm going to fucking go to Retic Fest and lose it, right? Like, fucking, just not going to do it. I wouldn't mind going to Turtle Fest. Do you hate Ty? Is that
No,
why?
I love Ty. Like Ty and I get along great, and in fact, this whole leopard gecko thing, which I'm sure is going to come up, Ty was in my corner. Ty and I only
I
spoke
saw that. Yeah.
one. Yeah, we spoke one time, very briefly, at Brian Barchuk's Animal Con, not the last year, but the year before, the first year, and then that was it. And then he like kind of came to my defense, even though we don't really know each other. So I've got nothing but good things to say about Ty.
Yeah, Ty is fucking awesome, man. What's great about Ty is like he knows me, and he still comes on the show, like fucking, which is and Ty is like he said something last interview I had with him, and I was like, "What do you want to be written on your gravestone?" And he was just like that he gave more than he took, right? And I thought that shit was just like profound. Right? Like fucking, and it's not just because Ty is Asian and an old guy, like fucking just trying to fucking give me a little bit of life advice, right? He just naturally fucking said it. And I thought about that for a long time. And I was like, yeah, maybe that is the way to fucking live, like not guarantee a straight shot to hell, like fucking just try and do nice things for people. So I've been trying. It's rough though, because I really like shit talking, like I'm a big fan of the shit talk. So,
oh, I get it, and yeah, that's a profound thing to say. That sounds like a very Asian proverbs thing, but yeah, I mean, to give more than you take is kind of the best way to live life. It's just a very difficult thing to do, especially now in the age of Instagram and social media, for sure.
Yeah, dude, he didn't even think about it. He was just like, right. I mean, it's like he knew that question was coming. Like I love that guy to death, and I'm hoping to get down there this year. The nice thing about Iguana Land is it seems to be paved. Okay. so I could handle pavement, no problem. Like I'm good with that. But hopefully I'll be walking again by then. But we'll see. Is there a gecko fest? No, like that would just be gay. Okay, fucking that would just be gay. Like what kind of man is gonna show up to Gecko Fest? Like fucking, it's just the only dude that would show up is like that dude that made 500 grand at that Las Vegas show. That's the only dude that would go there. Because
wait, someone made 500 grand at a Las Vegas show selling geckos?
Crested geckos, yeah, they had a bunch of Koreans come in and just buy 500 grand worth of geckos. But
hey, listen, I love geckos. I filmed an episode today sitting in this exact seat about geckos, but at the same time, I mean, they're not as cool as like carpet pythons or iguanas or
Well, I don't think a whole fest could be made from geckos. I think there could be a gecko party somewhere. I definitely think that could be the case. But again, no guys would show. Can you imagine a guy? Like, could you imagine going, you telling your friends that you're going to Gecko Fest, and they're like, "What are you, a fag?" Look at this,
Bill Burr. Thank you for coming on the podcast, Bill Burr. Yeah,
look at this fag going to Gecko Fest. But okay, so let's bring that up. You were the object of a fucking hit piece like I've never seen before, like out of nowhere. Like it really just, if you would have asked me 3 years ago, who was the least likely guy that someone would try and cancel, it would be you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Because you're obviously, look, I don't know shit about geckos. Okay. I had a bunch of geckos in like the late 90s, and we housed them communally. There was no problem with that. Right. But then I see fucking out of nowhere, a post by Darian, because even when you stop following that guy, you see his fucking post because he's everywhere, on Facebook and on Instagram. And
he bought everything. Yeah, you can't get away from him.
Yeah. He's basically the epitome of a dude with money just buying things over and trying to create an empire. But you basically think to yourself, man, this guy is kind of fucking up what could have been, an empire. Like fucking, I would love it if Morph Market was still run by John. And I don't have to kiss Darian's ass because I'm never going to buy anything on Morph Market. I know enough people to just go to, right? And I'm not really like a breeder, so I'm not going to sell anything on Morph Market. So I don't got to kiss the dude's ass. But he's people would like him, I think, because he is funny, okay? But he's such a douche Like online, he's one of those people where like the reason I could say a bunch of stupid shit is because I still come off as likable, right? Like Darian does not have that at all. Like fucking Darian types some stupid shit, and the amount of motherfucks that he gets, like even when he first fucking started with the ball pythons, you know, the ball python people a year ago, people were not getting the joke. They were immediately fucking going at him. And so when I saw him make that comment about you, I was like, this almost seems like the guy doesn't know anything about reptiles, right? Because I don't know Adam personally well, but I know without a doubt that I'm looking at Adam and I've been watching his videos for years. I know that without a doubt, every animal at your fucking place is like happy and thriving, right? So if they were attacking each other, I'm sure that you would fucking separate them, right? So I was like, this is a cheap shot at fucking Adam. And I didn't like that right off the bat. And that was prior to the chick from England fucking doing her shit. So so talk to me about the progression of how that happened.
So I will say, first and foremost, like I said 120 seconds ago, he bought everything. What I mean is he bought the biggest platform that there is, which is Morph Market. I've never purchased anything off Morph Market. I don't have a store. They told me they were going to give me a store for free to promote it. They never did. And I've got nothing against him personally. I don't know him. The only conversation I've ever had with Darian ever is about the Slithers thing. And I do think that the guy who runs Samson is a piece of shit. However, the only time that we ever had conversation was about that. And he said, hey, you know, maybe we'll, you know, you could, you know, we can sponsor you, whatever. I didn't know he was a Dubia guy. Keep in mind, I'm from Canada. So like I'm far removed from all of this. So I didn't know this guy. I don't know anything about him. I don't hate him. And we don't have any discourse. So when I say that, it's not like in a condescending way. What I will say is he made the post about me before his employee. So Darian didn't talk to me. He made the post. We reached out to him, which most people probably think because people say to me, oh, Darian talked to you. No, he never did. Darian sent his employee to tell me that, hey, we probably should, I forget the exact language, but cancel or revoke or whatever they said, our partnership early because we had like a 6-video deal after the fact. And that's fine. If I don't agree with somebody, I don't want to work with them. And if he doesn't agree with what I did, he shouldn't work with me. And I have no problem with that. The problem that I think is he made the post before I was told about it. So I knew I was canceled before I was told that I was canceled. And everybody knew about it before I knew about it. That part, to me, is unprofessional. Everything else he does, I don't care, you know, I have no ill will towards him and run your business how you want to run it. But at the same time, if it was me, I would have reached out to me first or whoever that I'm canceling first. And then the whole post, which I heard, I don't know if it's true, was a sponsored post, which if it was, is fucked up. But if it wasn't, then whatever, you know, do your own thing. But to me, I wouldn't have done it that way. With that said, just because I wouldn't have done it that way doesn't mean that you shouldn't. And I think that as a business owner, you should be able to do whatever you want. And if you have the money to buy the business and the influence that comes along with it, because that's what it is, then you should be able to do what you want. But there was zero. And when I say zero, I mean not one negative comment about what I did with 20,000 views on the video, and 2 weeks had passed. So he sponsored the post, and I made the post, and I asked the person, I don't want to say her name because I don't know if I'm allowed to, the employee, do you want the video early? Do you want to review it? No, it's fine. Every other sponsor wants the video early and wants to review the video. Everyone except for Dubia. And so I put the video out. 2 full weeks had passed before even one comment. And all it was a TikTok post. And in his response or in his post on social media, he said he got hundreds of emails.
Right.
I don't know if he got hundreds of emails. I would definitely contest that because it looked like to me, I don't know for sure because I don't see the back end. What it looked like to me was one person posted on TikTok and then a bunch of TikTokers with IQs the same size as their shoe size made comments about it. And then all of a sudden there was a panic. So he would never. So what I would have done, and I'm not saying that what I would have done was the right way, but what I would have done, and I have employees and I sponsor people and the whole thing. What I would have done before I pulled someone's sponsorship, hey, I'm getting a lot of backlash. Do you mind making a post saying that I didn't promote this? I don't agree with this. Clarify what you said, whatever the issue was. Because his thing was, I know, because he owns Morph Market, and on Morph Market, you can see 6 or 7 female leopard geckos with a male in a tub that is 28 quarts, a Sterilite tub or Rubbermaid or whatever, and he has no problem with that. But what I did was wrong. I don't agree with, or we don't agree with as Dubia.com, putting 6 leopard geckos in a 120-gallon enclosure. But on Morph Market, you have no problem showing, because there is pictures that I can still pull up to this day, because I checked before we went on air live tonight, of 6, 7, 8 leopard geckos with a male, females with a male in a 28-quart tub, which is 1/6 the size floor space. And I don't know how many, it's 7 inches tall. Mine's 24 inches tall together. So that's okay. But this bigger platform did this one thing so the whole thing to me seems disingenuous. With that said, again, I've never talked to Darian. He doesn't talk to me. He never reached out to me, and I'm not interested in talking to people. I'm interested in talking to people. So if you ever want to have the conversation, I'm open to it, but we never had that conversation.
Yeah. Well, Darian sponsored me, for the first 10 months or whatever. Okay. And then we did another show that had nothing to do with reptiles. Right. And he disagreed with something I said, or one of my other co-hosts said. And I got a text the next day, a DM from him saying, we've decided that Morph Market will not sponsor any other podcast. Right. And then he immediately, what's that?
It was like a blanket statement, kind of like,
yeah.
Yeah, because what he said is
any other podcast.
Right. I will personally watch all of the sponsored videos before they are posted, which I believe he will do today. But in 6 months,
he will do that too. But
right.
Then the bitch move wasn't that. The bitch move was, as soon as he texted me that, he immediately defriended and blocked me. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Cusco put out a video. He's like, yeah, we're sponsored by Morph Market now. And fucking, I still think he sponsors a bunch of other things. So I could personally say, from talking to him, and I did interview him, he's like a little bit of a bitch, but also when they were doing that fundraising thing for me, he did donate like $1,000 to me. And I was just like, I felt like the only reason he was giving it to me was because he was like, yeah, we hate each other, but I'm still the bigger guy and I'm still going to give it to you, So I was like, that's a little bit fucked up. But the way, like, I would give anything to have John back fucking running Morph Market, like, even though it was still a little quirky, as far as feature wise, I'd give anything to have John running. But, again, I'm not on it, so I don't care. Now,
I'm not on it either. And I do not know Darian at all, but I do know that business owners will get towards a cause that will accelerate their clout or make them look good, make them look like the good guy.
Right.
I don't agree with this, even though on my other platform, I show this. So I'm not saying that. The point is, I don't know the guy. We've never had a conversation about this ever. So I'm open to it, but it's impossible for me to say, oh, well, he agrees with this and not this, or he's doing it because of this, because we haven't spoken about it. So it's all conjecture.
But do you think that you might get that call? Because obviously he was not.
Don't. Okay. It's been 6 weeks. He hasn't talked to me. That's it. And I mean, for me to say, oh, I would have done this. I don't own Morph Market, right? So I don't know his background. I don't know his businesses, how he came. I don't know any of this, right?
Well, nobody does. Yeah. I mean, that's the
right.
Whole thing.
Nobody does. And I've heard a lot of theories, but I'm not going to say them here because I don't know if they're true or not.
Because you're not positive.
Right. So to me, I have employees. I have a business. I have other businesses. If it was my employer, or if it was even a sponsor, someone who I gave money to, the first thing I would do is reach out to them. I wouldn't make a public statement without reaching out to them personally first, especially when I knew what I was about to say was going to not ruin, but be a detrimental thing to their brand. Because what that post did, even if he didn't mean it to be, was detrimental to my brand. Because people who liked me or didn't even know who I was, all of a sudden were against me because of that post. When I say I got zero negative reaction to that video with 20,000 views, I mean zero. And then as soon as he made that post, then the backlash happened.
Right. Yeah. Now, Turts and Herp says, dude, there are so many people bashing the Leo thing, but they don't have the guts to tag you. If you think you're making a valid post, tag them.
So, Turts and Herps, by the way, even if you've never heard of this person, is a fantastic human being. And I agree. And I think that if you're going to talk about someone, tag them and don't block them, because the only two people so Darian, I don't think he was against me. Like, he made the post and it was objective or whatever. The two people who came after me, both came after me after they blocked me. So the only way I got to see their posts were from other people sending it to me.
Right. I have that happen all the time to me. Okay. So I get it.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. We're just gonna pay a real quick bill. I just gotta fucking knock out this one ad spot. So hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. Liberty Business Services. Okay. Are you a 1099 employee, also known as an independent contractor? If so, Kevin from Liberty Business Services can help you receive up to $32,200 back. The self-employed tax credit was passed by federal legislation in response to the, I'm not going to say it, but let's just call it the Kung Flu pandemic. The money comes back to you in the form of a check from the U.S. Treasury, or maybe you're a business owner with W-2 employees and you experienced a partial or full closure, supply chain issue, or hard loss in revenue due to the Kung Flu. The Employee Retention Credit Program was created for you. You could be eligible for the ERC program, which is a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. A portion of Liberty Business Services proceeds will be donated to US ARC because Kevin is a lifetime reptile keeper. For more information, please call or text Kevin at 570-855-6060 or go to libertybusinessservices.com for more information. Okay, so now you would have to be crazy to think that wasn't approved by fucking Kevin first. Okay. So even, you know, I could get away with a little bit more than you because you're more of a family friendly thing. And people know that I'm going to joke about them and fucking, you know, when I do their ad reads, but I do believe in the companies that I do it. That's what bothered me about Darian's comment about you was like, he didn't even know who you were. Like to see you take care of your shit is like seeing a pro level guy take care of their shit, making sure that, you know, they're housing, making sure that they have the right interaction with everything. So even if you were doing this wrong, let's say you weren't housing them together. I feel like if you were housing them together, that would be cool because Adam takes pristine care of his shit. And I know that just from watching your videos. So it was almost like Darian never watched a video of yours ever.
So my thing was when they canceled the sponsorship, the employee said, we agree with mostly what you do, but we don't agree with this. So here's my big issues. The first issue is every piece of science says that the rule is that leopard geckos live together. It's not the exception. The rule is they live together. So the idea that leopard geckos are territorial and solitary is like saying humans are territorial and solitary. What is the worst thing you can do to a human? Put them in solitary confinement. Right. And I'm not saying that putting a leopard gecko apart from everything else is wrong. I think that's okay. I don't think it's the same as humans. But the point is, if you're saying that it's the worst thing in the world to put them together, I think it's a dipshit argument. I don't think that you're a dipshit if you make the argument. I think the argument is a dipshit argument. I think it's stupid. So that was the main issue. And then the point that he made was, well, we don't agree with this. Okay, well, present the scientific argument that says that it's wrong. That never happened. So there was no argument that was wrong. And the only argument that I got from the channel who was a hit piece on me was, well, it looks bad. It's sticks and bricks, which is hilarious. And there will be sticks and bricks merch available on my store tomorrow. Because I think it's like, it's so dumb. Like it, and again, this person I have no issue with before this. We've never spoken before this. We have no history before this. I will release everything if she disputes this. But before that, before I watched the video, I said to her, hey, I heard that you made a hit piece on me. I heard it was bad. I had over 100 messages about your video before I got to see it. This is, you know, I want to let you know I haven't seen it yet, just so you know where we're at. Then I watched the video and I said, hey, I think it was disingenuous. I think that what you did was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And then what she said to me was, fair enough, and then blocked me and then made it, oh, he's attacking me because I'm a woman. Which, by the way, if you make an argument about a subject, about gender or sex or race or anything else, when it has nothing to do with that, I think that you lost the argument. I think it's stupid.
Right away.
And I would never attack anybody because my employees are mostly women. So this whole idea is stupid in the first place. Oh, he's misogynist. And there's another TikToker / Instagrammer who I hung out with, an Animal Tom, but didn't say a word to me, who's making this whole thing. Oh, he's a misogynist, blah, 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 never spoke to me. And here's the deal. If you're a man, woman, child, animal who makes an argument against me, I will defend my argument regardless of what you are or what you identify as. So this whole thing, that's what pissed me off the most.
Well, that's the thing that I thought that the Darian thing was over with, right?
Yeah.
But then like 2 days later, I start seeing this shit by this woman in England. I know you don't want to say a name. I honestly don't remember her name, so you're in no danger of that happening. But I saw that she did the hit piece on you. And this is why I fucking love the people that watch this show. Blocking is what limp dick bitches do. Okay, yes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So I saw this dumb video, right? And basically, you know, saying how she disagrees with you and how everything else happens. But and that didn't piss me off because fucking I just said, you know, well, maybe she's on a period, right? Like, yeah, that's what you get, misogynistic. Yeah, go ahead. Fucking, you want to call anybody misogynistic? Fucking come at me, bitches. All right. But then I saw another bitch who used to sponsor this show, who just a week prior had him yanking leopard geckos up by the tails and smashing them back into a Sterilite container, do a reaction video to her reaction to your video. Okay. And for some reason, that just threw me in a fucking in a haze because fucking before this guy sponsored the show, I don't know anything about leopard geckos, right? So I was asking other people, what do you think about this guy? And they were like, yeah, I would stay away from him unless you really need the money. You know, he kind of does crossbreedings on things that fucking are unhealthy and all this other shit, right? So then I spoke with the guy. And he seemed a little bit like, you know, he seemed like a nice guy. But then he did the reaction, and he was almost kind of like backhanded complimenting you. You know, it's like, you know, when he's like, yeah, most people can't pull off greasy hair, but it looks real good on you. You know, like fucking, and that's what he was doing the whole video. And that made me want to motherfuck this guy like even more. And that guy, I'm not ashamed to say the fucking name is Geeky Gecko Creations. Okay. So seriously, fuck that guy fucking for going at my boy Adam and fucking being a piece of shit. So fuck that guy. Adam's not saying that. All right. I'm saying that. Okay. So, what do you think about the reaction video?
Well, he reached out to me and I was going to do a show because like I watched the video and I don't know. He was like fence sitting to me. Like it seemed like he was trying to be on both sides. And I get it because like he went through a whole drama before and people came after him. I didn't watch the video. I didn't know anything about it until very recently. But yeah, I had 3 bigger podcasts reach out to me. You, another one which comes out on Saturday, and him. And then he stopped pursuing me. So I'm not doing his. But yeah, in general, I just think that if you're going to shit on somebody for what they do, at least do the research yourself first. And if you say, hey, this person did something wrong, okay, then present an argument for why I did it wrong in the first place, rather than, oh, well, this other content creator that I like said that you did it wrong, so therefore you did it wrong. Like that, to me, that's a dipshit argument, and I don't like it.
Right, because what he kept saying in that video was, I don't know the woman's name, but let's say it's Sally, right? He would be
Rebecca.
like, Sally's so awesome that she's calling Adam out on this and fucking, yeah, you know, she's so great. Like you could tell she had a bigger channel than his, and he wanted to kind of like tail ride, you know, a little bit. And I think that did work out for him. But this guy is fucking very unlikable in person, like in on camera. So I don't know how you leopard gecko people could fucking, you know, even claim unity with this guy. Okay. So wait, I'm going to pull this up. I haven't read it yet, but they gave money. I had to call it up. So many people expose themselves are extremely uneducated and close-minded after the Wickens video dropped. Also, blocking was weak as fuck from her. Yes, I agree. Ravishing Reptiles. Fucking that's true. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. These people are so like, the one point I made was like, it's nice to see the leopard gecko community is as shitty as the ball python community, you know, because this was the first time I saw a different species community just being like petty little cunts all the fucking time. And you don't even mainly keep leopard geckos, right?
No, I mean, like they were one of my first species that I kept, but in terms of what I keep now, it's a small portion. And I made the video because I think that's the right way to do it. And spoiler alert, I'm going to Pakistan at the beginning of next year to go show exactly this. And all of the studies, and when I say all of, I mean 100% of the studies show this is how they're kept in the wild, or how they keep themselves in the wild.
Right.
So I'm going to show that. So yeah, this isn't even my main focus. I didn't even think it was gonna be controversial. I thought like maybe 2 or 3 people would think it's controversial, but I didn't think it was gonna be this.
I didn't even think 2 or 3 people. I mean, granted, I know nothing about leopard geckos, but I know people that keep them, and they are not nearly the amount of cuntiness as this bigger chick was, right? Gecko Diva,
Yeah.
thank you, Crystal. Fucking, I appreciate the super chat. Sending love to my 2 faves, YouTube peeps. Fucking A. Fucking, that's all I'm saying. Fucking, see, I am honored to be even in the favorite realm of somebody with Adam, because fucking the first time I was gonna ask Adam to be on the show, I was like, there's no way he's gonna do my fucking show. There's no, you know, and a friend of mine was like, dude, you should at least ask. And I was like, there's no way. Okay. And Adam, the first time I checked you out was your regular videos, right? And then I saw like Adam's a comedian, right? And then there was another channel that I hopped on, and you were like just making like the most offensive Jew jokes that I fucking seen. And I was like, I immediately like this guy, right? So I'm like, so the comedy channel was what gave me the balls to ask you to be on the show, because I was like, okay, if he's that fucking funny doing this, you know, maybe the YouTube thing is just like a job for him, you know. And it turned out to be that way. But how's the comedy thing going? Are you still doing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's going great. I mean, everything's open up now. Like last time we did this, it was like during the
COVID
pandemic, right?
Oh, kung flu.
Yeah. Yeah. So now everything's great, and it's going good. And you know, I mean, this is still my full-time thing, and comedy in Canada is still, you know, comedy in Canada, but it is what it is.
Right. Well, do you travel to do comedy shows, like when you see like Segura and Burr talk about stories like they used to drive out to Ohio to do, you know, 2-night show for $100? Yeah, you know, like do you do things like that, or are you still like, no, I ain't leaving my house for under $2,000, you know?
No, I mean, like in Canada, to get $2,000 for a comedy show would be huge. Like that's just not a thing that happens.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, like I still do a lot of stuff like that. And comedy for me is like it pays part of the bills, but it's mostly for fun. And like I'm trying to get somewhere. And generally in comedy, and unless you're 10 years in, you're not anywhere anyway in the first place.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. Look at this. We got a super sticker from Twix. Thank you, Twix. Do you know her or him?
that's my fiance. Yeah, I do know her. Yeah.
Oh,
Quite well.
I figured it had to be a chick because if not, if it was a dude, I was just like, because I can't even see the picture. That's how old I am. And look at this. Fucking Gerald has to out fucking do his wife and fucking gives us $28 from fucking Canada. So fucking that's cool. Thank you, Gerald.
28 Canadian dollars. So that's like $3 US.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's a cup of coffee, but you know, funny thing is Crystal has a coffee show now. So now I could go to Dunkin' Donuts and fucking watch her show. I should have won the 15 minutes of lame on Adam and Fadil's video alone. Listen, dude, Fadil, just because you're not likable. Now you're more likable that you just gave me money. Okay, so you're much more likable. And look what 15 minutes of lame did for you. You have your own show now. You're fucking killing it. So fucking look, your wife is fucking on her own show, who I'll still bring on 15 minutes, by the way. So, but anyway, so the comedy is what, 20% of your income, and you just do it as a hobby, or do you still have the aspiration to be like the next Bargatze or fucking Burr or somebody like that?
So it's so funny because I remember last time we talked about Bargatze, and no one who knows who that is,
right?
But yeah, I mean, I'd love to be that, but in Canada, like you have to move to the US, and then yeah, that's like a whole thing. We talked about that last time. It's been like 2.5 years.
But didn't you have like a not a plan, but a general outline to move to the US back then?
Yeah. But now, okay. So first of all,
are you afraid of Darian? Is that why you're not moving to the US now?
Yeah, so I'm afraid of Darian, and that's why I'm moving to the US. But yeah, like I just don't see it happening. It's like it's really expensive and difficult, and it's just not going to happen at this point, unfortunately. So to make comedy my full-time thing is probably not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, like I love comedy, I love doing it. I'm never going to stop doing it. But at this point, I just don't see it like being my yeah.
No, I gotcha. Look, Leviathan Snakes, fucking thank you. And Stephen X, was Gerald even on 15 Minutes of Lame? He wasn't in any credit, right? Well, for everybody listening, I mean, this story's been told to death, but I did a live show for my 100 show, right? And you know, when you look on YouTube and you go back to your videos, if you don't look at the live videos in addition to the regular videos, you'll forget that you had a live show with a 15 minutes guy on. And I totally forgot. And I left Gerald out of all the promo material, all the fucking movie material. He wasn't mentioned in credits for the movie that got made. He wasn't mentioned in like fucking anything. So I feel bad for him now. So that's why I will basically do whatever Gerald asks of me, because I feel like he did get a little bit fucked in the whole 15 Minutes of Lame contest. But you know, Paul still killed it, and Paul still swept it. So ask him again why you're
with 15 Minutes of Lame in the first place.
What's that?
How did you come up with 15 Minutes of Lame in the first place?
I hated seeing all these people dump their savings into a stupid business like ball pythons. So I figured it would be funny to make fun of them, right? And be like, how much money have you put into it? And they'd be like, $120,000. And I'm like, how much money have you made so far? And they're like, nothing. All right. And I just always, that's like a midget farting. Like I'll always laugh at it. You know, like fucking no matter how offensive it is or anything else, I will always laugh at dudes that are like, I spent 120 grand. I'm like, how much have you made back? And they're like, well, nothing. It's a growing year, you know? And like, I've heard it's a growing year so many times. Like, and now I'm at the point of where when I meet somebody and they're like, yeah, I put my whole retirement into ball pythons. After like 2 minutes, you just know. You look at them and you're like, yeah, I don't know if I would have did that if I was you. You know, fucking, you just basically, you know, fucking flushed your retirement down the fucking toilet. So that's how we came up with it. And but then there were people that were doing it the right way, and then I was feeling stupid because I was like, I had you on so I could make fun of you, and now you're telling me everything you're doing, and it's kind of the right way to do it. And that's basically how it started. And the first year one of the guys running for the running in the contest just blew it out of the water. He went on like a 2-month campaign where he was like at the Parthenon in Tennessee, and he was pretending he was in Greece trying to get votes and fucking just, you know, doing everything. And after the first year, it just kind of took off on its own thing. So and it's been that way for a while now. So so really the people that are in 15 minutes of lame are more responsible for the success than I am for it, you know. So you know, that's why I appreciate everybody that fucking comes on this fucking stupid dick and fart joke show, because obviously, you know, like, you've been on the show twice already. You know, the show's not really about reptiles. It's about fucking hanging out and, you know, and talking about shit, you know. So Serenity Dragons just gave a super chat. Can we trade Darian for Adam? Yeah. Canada can have Darian. Yeah, fucking yes, please. All right. Yeah, fuck Darian. Let's get him out to Canada. Fucking look at Crystal. She has to catch up with her husband. Adam's new channel rocks. Not quite the Y files, but it has a good file, great content. Talk to me about the new channel and what you're doing with it.
So I've got a new channel called Informal History. So I'm a bit of a history buff, but I like history that's like easy to listen to and understand. So I talk about historic events or like even pop culture and true crime and stuff like that, and I make it like really easy for anybody to understand. And I really like it. It's really fun, and I hope it grows. And it's just a really fun channel to keep up with.
Do you watch Watcher?
No, what's Watcher?
Okay, what Watcher is? It's like a variety show where they talk about, you know, conspiracies and history and things like that. And they have a show called Puppet History, which is just, they make it like a game show. And there's a puppet professor, and he's interviewing like two idiots, right? But the way they got famous was they used to work for BuzzFeed, and they used to have a show about ghost hunting, where one guy absolutely believed in ghosts and another guy totally did not, right? So they would film each other, you know, going into it. And they have a new show called The Ghost Files on Watcher, and it's a great channel to fucking watch. But it's funny because I'm starting a show about pop culture and political events in history called My One Black Friend and My One White Friend. And it's me and a black guy doing a show, a black guy that I've known for 35 years, since high school. All right. We used to play football together. So you know, fucking your fucking little buddy over there could fucking smack that racist comment out the window. All right. But I don't want to say I'm doing a show with a black guy, because that's the tell-all that you're a racist, right? You're like, oh, I got a black guy in my family, right? Like, fucking,
I got a black friend. Yeah.
I got a black friend. Yeah, my father is half black. Okay, so fucking, I'm surprised I could be as racist as that. Danny Cadena, thank you, brother. Man, fucking, and they're throwing the cash at us tonight, Adam. Okay, they're fucking throwing it at this is why I have to have a mega shot like you on the show all the time now. Okay. So
I'm happy to come on, man. This is a fun show. I'm happy to come on, and I hope that all the super chats come.
Yeah, well, we figure if we made $100 in super chats right now, you know what YouTube does to those. All right. So
I do know.
All right. Yeah. Now, I'm afraid to ask you this because I don't want it to sound like fucked up, but YouTube payouts, right? Didn't that go through a big change about a year and a half ago? 2 years ago, maybe?
I
heard that Barchek was making like 300 grand a month off YouTube. And then they made these new rules. And then I heard that he was making 25 grand a month with the new rules off YouTube.
So I don't know anything about this, but I would guess that what this is about 2.5 years ago, they did this. Are your videos made for kids thing? And then if the answer was yes, then you made about 1% of what you made before. So I don't know anything about this. And Barchuk and I, until the very end, were friends, and we talked about everything. He was an open book to me. So I don't know anything about this, but I would guess that's what it is. And to me, because my videos were never made for kids, I
Right.
never saw any decline in revenue or anything like that. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add to this, honestly.
Yeah, okay. I probably should do my own research, right? Like fucking that's but
Well, I
but
mean,
I
it's
don't
it's a valid question. Like, I mean, because I've heard a lot of things about this person makes this much, like, but I don't actually know. But for
Right.
me, my revenue has always been steady or gone up. Like, I've not seen like a big drop because of anything like that.
Right. Well, and obviously you make a comfortable living off YouTube right now, right? But
Yeah,
is there aspirations to be like a Mr. Beast type of guy?
I mean, Mr. Beast, no. Like, I don't have aspirations to make 30 million a month, but I mean, like I have a family and it's growing, and I would like to continue to like make more money. So that's why I started a second channel and maybe a third channel. I don't know, but yeah, like I'd like to make more money, but I mean, a million a month seems crazy to me.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, that's why I watched another Canadian called because I'm a computer nerd too, right? So I watch Linus Tech Tips.
yeah,
And
okay.
fuck it, that dude is crushing it, right? Like even when he went through his, you know, Linus is a misogynistic fuck face, you know, he's still fucking crushing it. And I'm just wondering, is the income level that's given is different in Canada than it is in the United States?
It's different, and like our taxes are obviously different, right? Like Canadian taxes are fucking ridiculous. But if I was making what Linus makes for a
Right.
year, I'd be okay. You know,
Yeah.
like Linus is
Yeah.
doing great. But the big difference, like for now, is so in Canada, like for example, we can't share a news article, right? Like our government banned. So if you share to me an article that you wrote, but a news publication shared it, I can't share it. I can't see it on social media. So we have very censored internet now.
Right.
So that is different. But in terms of like revenue, I mean, it's not really that different. And getting paid in American is great because our dollar is worth 70 cents to your
Right.
dollar.
Yeah. Right. So you go after the American sponsors more than the Canadian sponsors.
Way more. Like I have no Canadian sponsors at all. All my sponsors are American, and I have no problem with that whatsoever.
So now, and everybody knows you're friends with Dave Kaufman, and you've traveled with him around the world pretty much.
Yeah.
Is your channel bigger than Dave's or no? Is Dave's channel bigger than yours?
So yeah, my channel is bigger than Dave's in terms
Okay.
of subscriber. In terms of subscribers, yes.
But now, when you traveled with Dave, this isn't going where you think it's going. Okay, I'm curious.
I don't know
like-
where this is going. I have no
like-
problem.
like,
Wherever
I
way it
think you
goes.
know where it's going. But what did you learn from Dave? Because Dave's obviously traveled a ton, like all over the place. I mean, every time the guy does a video, he's in a different country, right?
Mhm.
So did you learn anything traveling with him, or did you learn anything traveling with you know these other big guys?
So Dave is good at navigating things. So Dave has a big personality. So first of all, Dave is a big man, and I think that
Yeah.
in general, stature matters in the way that people see you. And Dave is a big, giant human being, and he's a big personality, and he gets what he wants. And I have nothing bad to say about Dave. I love Dave. No matter what anybody else thinks, like I'm friends with you, and there are people who don't like Dave. I love Dave. But Dave has a big personality, he gets what he wants. And what I learned from Dave is impose your will. Whatever your will is, impose your will and tell people what you want, and you will get what you want.
That's what Dave does when he's traveling.
Yeah, and not like in a dickhead way. Like I don't think Dave's a dick by any means, but like Dave I'm also Canadian, so I'm polite and subdued and whatever. But with Dave is very brash. Like I remember, so I'll tell you an anecdote. I remember being in a Canadian restaurant in a Canadian province in Canada, and the waitress came over and what do you want? And Dave's like, I want this burger and I want to cook this way. And the lady was like, all right, well, we cook burgers one way and that's it. And he said, if it's a hockey puck, I'll send it back. And I remember the people I was sitting with, like they're Canadian, they've never heard anyone speak to a waitress like this. I don't think it was necessarily rude, but just the way he said it was so American. And
Right.
I've heard other Americans speak to waitresses like this, and then the waitress kind of looked like, I've never heard anybody speak to me like this ever before. So Dave is awesome. Dave is great, but also Dave is like, Dave wants things, and Dave speaks in a way that he'll get those things.
Right. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so you know, I could kind of relate to that because fucking, I'll go to a restaurant and I'll be like, if it's cooked even a little bit more than medium rare, I'll send it back. If I don't like the way it's plated, I'll send it back. If I don't like the way it's, but I never do it because I'm a fat fuck and I put food in front of me and I'll eat it. You know, like fucking, I'm just like whatever. I like to think that I'm that guy, but I'm totally not. So what about like who have you learned the most from down here in America?
I mean, in terms of YouTube, it's funny because like I listened to our podcast from 2.5 years ago, and the guy that I learned the most from about YouTube was the guy who was not successful at YouTube. His name was John, and he had a channel called Professor Herb. And the most I learned about YouTube was from this guy who wasn't even successful. So it's hard to say, but like also when I started, I feel like I was a young man. I was 26 when I started. So in terms of like learning things, Dave taught me a lot. In terms of traveling, Dave taught me more than anybody else. When I go to an airport, like I took my fiance, she was my girlfriend at the time, I proposed to her in Cuba, whatever. I took her on a trip, and then she hasn't been on very many international excursions. So I felt like, okay, I know how to navigate airports. And I felt like when people like that who haven't done a lot of traveling follow me, they like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. And I learned that from Dave. I know how to do those things. When it comes to like YouTube, I learned from like bigger channels. So I've talked to Snake Discovery a lot. Even Garrett from Reach Out Reptiles, who isn't bigger than me on YouTube, but he understands. When I do things on Patreon, I learned from Garrett, or Billy from Mutation Creation, who has a bigger Patreon subscribership than me, but he has a smaller YouTube subscribership than me by 80%. So right. I feel like even if someone's smaller than you, you can still learn a lot from them.
Right. Well, the reason I'm asking is because you're at that level now where you have to have a ton of people asking you questions all the time, right? And and what's your best piece of advice to give? Like if somebody said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel about animals in 2024, what's the best thing you could tell them?
Be consistent. Like it doesn't matter if your YouTube channel is about animals or tech or gum, like it doesn't matter. Like it, don't miss uploads. Don't miss uploads. Don't miss uploads. Whatever your schedule is, if it's Monday and Thursday or Saturday, whatever it is, don't miss ever for any reason. I've been doing this since, so today's episode is 114. I started my channel on 01/14/2019. I started my second channel on 01/14/2024. You didn't know this. I thought it was kind of funny. I have never missed an upload on either channel. So as soon as you start your channel, never miss an upload. Whatever you say it's going to be, it's an excuse. I've had food poisoning. I've had COVID. I've had all these things. I've never missed an upload. My grandmother has died. Like I've had all these issues. Right. Don't miss an upload. Always be consistent and get better at one thing every week. So this week, lighting, right? I bought this parabolic softbox 1 week, and then I learned how to tune it 3 weeks after that. In between that, I learned how to do better audio and camera angle. Make sure that your camera angle isn't too far up, because it makes you look short. You've met me, you know how short I am. Right. Do I look short in video? No, and that's because I learned how to angle the camera. So get better at something every week and never miss an upload.
Right. Well, and because of that, do you always have like 10 videos in the can already?
So here's something that I could do better. I could work further in advance. And something that I have to my favor is I have a really good editor who's very reliable. And I have a very good thumbnail guy who's new, who's been working for me for only like 2 months, who's very reliable. So you should do that, but I don't. I have a couple videos in advance. So for example, I was in Cuba last month and I was going to put out the leopard get. I filmed the whole video. It was my longest video I've ever would have ever put out. Very well produced and probably the best edited video I ever did. And it was my response to Leopard Gecko's video, who is the person who trashed me anyway.
Right.
I didn't put it out because I thought there was going to be more drama. The whole thing was done. So I took a video that was Patreon only from a year and a half ago of me and Dave going to an oddities museum in Toronto when he was here for a reptile expo, and I put that out. So I do have videos that are Patreon only that I could put out. So I do agree you should have them. And even if you don't have them just canned for you, at least put something out for your paid audience so that you can put them out for the masses if you're in a pinch.
Right. Okay. So you started this when? 14 years ago? 13 years ago?
So I started keeping 15 years ago, and I started keeping leopard geckos together 13 years ago.
Okay. When did you start the YouTube channel? The Wickens Wicked Reptiles one.
01/14/2019. So January 14, 2019.
So in 5 years, basically, you've grown to this mega channel. When did you stop editing the videos yourself?
A year and a half ago. So I met this dude from Montreal. He lives in Ottawa now. So Ottawa is the capital of Canada for Americans. And I tried a few services before that, but it took me a long time to find a guy who actually knew what they were doing for editing and knew animals. And I think that's a big problem with our niche is if you don't know animals, how are you supposed to get a guy to know the difference between a woman python and a ball python?
Right. And this guy did?
Yeah, because he has his own YouTube channel, Mystic Animals.
Oh, okay. All right. Good deal. Now, so you don't edit anymore. You basically just give him footage and he puts it together.
If it's a travel video, I edit myself because there's no like to give a guy 36 gigs of video and like try it yourself. Like it's impossible. Or if it's I do edit some myself, but I would say 75% he edits now for this channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you do edit, what do you use to edit?
Premiere Pro.
Premiere, yeah, that's what I used to. Okay.
Yeah. That's
so
what
you're
most
a PC
people.
guy.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good job. Good job, Adam. That's right.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, like fucking yeah. Why spend $8,000 on a Mac when you could spend $4,000 on a PC that does the exact same thing? Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Right. So yeah, I feel like a jerk because like I literally just bought about $10,000 in computer equipment, and then it's all PC, and then I bought an iPad, and that's the worst thing that you could do because now you're like, oh, all these Apple people when they do something on their phone, it's automatically on their iPad and it's automatically on their computer now, and fucking spending $10,000, you're like, fuck, I think I just fucked up, but I refuse to get like some ghetto ass Samsung Galaxy tablet or something. I can't do that. Like fucking, I just can't do it. So, but all my editing is done on Premiere Pro and everything else. And believe me, I love editing, but I just don't love the time. If I had a guy to fucking actually edit, I would put out a lot more videos, but it is what it is, fucking it's like this isn't my full-time job, right? So I don't, and I edit during my full-time job, so it's like I just don't have time to film everything, and how you guys do it, like how you do it and Dave does it and how Barcheck did it, it's always like fuck. There has to be a camera in your face like 20 hours a day. Like, how does your fiance feel about that?
So I'm very lucky. Like she loves she doesn't mind the camera. She's not like an attention whore by any means, but she has no problem with being on camera. She loves helping. So, okay, I had a different glass 10 minutes ago. She came down here, snuck down, gave me a different drink, and then went back upstairs because she's watching the stream upstairs. Okay. She is the most supportive woman I could ever imagine having. So she's very happy. And when I travel, it sucks because I miss you and the whole thing. But I mean, in terms of like, I couldn't ask for a better situation. That's for sure.
How much do you travel out of the month right now?
So this year's been different. So it's April, and I've gone on 2 trips so far. So I've traveled 2 weeks so far, and I have a big one happening at the end of the year, I hope. But last year, I think I traveled 11 weeks out of the year total. So It's not a ton, but it was about 20% of the year last year.
Right. Okay. So it's not like being in a rock band, like, because that's the only experience I have. Like, because we were on tour for 10 months out of the year, like fucking it was
not like that.
Okay. So it could be almost considered like a job, like just a regular day job for what you're doing, because you're probably home most days just filming, right?
Yeah, I mean, most days I'm at home, or there's a lot of meetings and stuff like that, but most of it I can do from home. And then when I travel, or even if it's like a weekend thing, like I have to work a week in advance, and like it is a job, but it is closer to a 9 to 5 than to a rock band or athlete or something like that.
Right. Oh, look, see, I miss you too. All right, fucking, that's my chick right there. So fucking showing up fucking for my dumb dick and fart joke podcast and fucking supporting me. I fucking love it. So yeah, what's this do 10 minutes with Trish next live?
So Twix, that's my fiance right there. So during the last live that I did, I have a great audience. I had like 500 people watch me last week, and I'm talking about like way dumber than this. Your podcast is way more produced than my lives. And everybody, as soon as I started bringing my fiance onto things, oh, well, give me 10 minutes with Twix. All I want to do is talk to your fiance about things. So she's more popular on my channel than I am, basically.
Fuck yeah. Well, tell your wife we could do a fucking hour and a half with Twix fucking next time. Fucking, well, let's fucking do it. Fucking, if you'll allow her to. Okay.
Oh, I'd be happy to. She's more entertaining than I am by far. And she can also reach the top shelf. I mean, she's about a foot taller than I am too. So just in general, just a better human being all the way around.
Yeah, aren't tall chicks just better?
Way better. And she's pretty and smarter and better talking and doesn't stutter through things. So yeah, all the way around to be a better podcast.
Same with my chick too. It's like fucking, like, how do you talk so much without saying like fucking, it just irritates the fuck out of me. I'm just like, you talk so clearly and fucking properly, and I look like a fucking idiot that had a stroke, like fucking. So I get it, dude. I get it. And when's the marriage gonna take place?
Next summer, probably. So not this summer, but next summer. Like, these things take time, and like, I've never got married before, but from what I understand, they take time. So it'll be next summer.
Yeah, so is it going to be like a Sarah Dici thing where it's just going to be everything's on YouTube?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know. We're going to have so in Canada, they're called stag and does, where it's like a party before the wedding to like raise money and stuff. So we'll have that, and I'll invite everybody who wants to come. But in terms of like a marriage, it'll be like a pretty mundane, small thing, I think.
Now we have that here too. It's called they're called bridal showers, and fucking it's like so stupid. It's like fucking here's a tea kettle set for your fucking house. And I'm just like, because I got married, so I remember going to the bridal shower, and all my friends were like, "What are you, a fag? You're going to the fucking bridal shower?" Like. And you just look at these gifts that people give you, and they're like, like we got a $300 fucking asparagus, not asparagus, but like some gravy boat shit fucking collection, right? And I'm like, you could have just gave us $300, like fucking, and you don't have to give me this fucking gravy boat collection. but I think that everybody knew that the marriage was going to only last 10 months, so they didn't want to. They didn't want to, they knew it was like grand opening, grand closing, right? Wickens Wicked Wedding. That should be a new channel. That'll be fucking
That'll
great.
be the hashtag for the month anyway. But man, so I don't know. Like I feel like I'm still young, kind of, but like so I'll be 33 in a month, right? So I'm not like young, but I'm not old yet. So I waited to like find the right one. So I feel like this one's gonna last longer than 10 months by quite a bit. And I've been committed to like, all right, you'll marry one time and then like all the rest. Like you know these guys who married like 4 or 5 times, like who has time for that, right? So I'm gonna get married one time, have a bunch of kids, and then that's it. But yeah, I think the wedding will be a private affair. But everything before that, the stag and doe, as we call it here, will be public. And if you want to come to it, then come throw toonie. You know what a toonie is, Chris? A toonie is our $2 coin. We don't have $1 bills here. We have $1 coins and $2 coins, and we throw them in a trash barrel at Stag and Does, and that's our toonie toss. So if you want to come to Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, come on down and we'll do a toonie toss.
Dude, I was in Niagara Falls once, and I fucking loved it. Okay, and I love the casino there. Fucking the great casino. I think I won like fucking 18 grand when I was there, and
damn.
But it didn't really matter because it was only like 12 grand American or whatever. And but it was so great because I did the helicopter ride around the falls, right? And you really see the dividing line of the shithole that is New York side of Niagara Falls and the nice side that's the Canadian side, like fucking it was like it was just like I don't even want to go to the New York side. Like I'm pissed off that I had to drive through it, like it was just the fucking worst thing ever. But I did love it there, I fucking did love it there. People were so nice, but we went in like March also, so we're still relatively cold. But I would definitely go back to Niagara Falls. It's a cool place. But I was surprised that there were so many people. Like fucking, like I expected a lot of people, but I didn't expect that many people.
Dude. And show up in July. There's nowhere to park. You can't walk. There's nowhere to stand. It feels like imagine like an EDM festival where you're touching everybody all the time, but the entire block is like that. But the Canadian side is way better because we have the better view of the falls, which is why when you look at an aerial map, there's nothing on the US side and everything on the Canadian side.
Well, yeah, and the Canadian side, at least you have this great little park, the whole thing around it. The New York side is basically a cliff with a fence on it. Right. And it's like you see a bunch of fucking Pakistani people just looking at the fucking, saying, oh man, I wish I could get to Canada. But yeah, it's a great fucking place. I'm definitely gonna try and get up to Billy's this year too. So if I'm up by Billy's, you're close to there, right?
Yeah, so I was there a year and a half ago, and Billy's place doesn't look like a ball python breeding place. It looks like an investment banking place. It's the nicest ball python or any reptile producing place I've ever seen. So Billy is the man, and his facility is amazing. You'll love it.
Yeah, no, I'm positive that I will. Jamie from Rising Phoenix said New York side has McDonald's, the Canadian side has a butterfly conservatory. Like fucking,
we do. We have a butterfly conservatory and we have an aviary, and I'm taking the kids there next week, and I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun. Niagara Falls is actually great. The problem is it's all tourists, and there's a tourist tax. I live 20 minutes from the falls, and I still have to pay a tourist tax every time I go there.
Right. Yeah, it's just the worst. And I remember having to go through the customs, or not the customs, but the thing with the Mounties. The Mounties is the gayest thing that I've ever seen in my life. Like fucking, I'm just like, I'm like, you got dudes dressed up in Boy Scout uniforms as your security, like you're fucking, you guys are crazy. And then they held us up for like 2 hours, and I was like, all right, maybe I should just listen to the Boy Scout, from this point out, because it was a pain in the ass getting back over. But I would still go there, but I think I would fly this time because I think that It's 8 hours
Okay,
from
so
me.
I'll
And, yeah.
I'll tell you the hack. So I fly a lot, right? Every time I come back into Canada, as long as you fly, come into Pearson Airport, which is Toronto, which is an hour away from Niagara Falls. You come in, and this is the immigration process. You go to a kiosk, which takes a picture of you. You put your passport in. You don't say a word. You type in your thing, so you don't have to declare anything. And then as you walk through, they don't even ask you how long you've been there, how was your day, nothing. They just put a tick on your paper, and that's it. Immigration through Pearson Airport is a fucking joke. It is the easiest immigration. It's an unsecured border. You could bring through 17 unimmigrated children in your fucking carry-on, and they would not say a thing to you. It is the easiest thing on the fucking planet.
Yeah, that seems like it would be better. So basically,
way better.
Yeah, because the driving thing 8 hours too is like, I mean, I don't go to a reptile show if it's more than 2 hours away. You know, like fuck that. Like we would.
Well, the
fly to
land
New
border
York.
is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Bro. So I go to Pittsburgh 2 or 3 times a year, and Buffalo, whatever, right? They accost you. I'm a Canadian citizen, and coming back, they like basically put a finger up my ass, which made no complaints. But they check everything, and then but if you fly in, apparently it's no fucking problem. You can have whatever you want when you come on in.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'll drive when I have that need for the finger in my ass.
Yeah,
that's
I recommend it.
Yeah, no, I would imagine. Are they
Mhm.
gentle or are they violent?
They whisper in your ear the whole time, so it's fine.
There you go. That's what I need. All right, that's what
Yeah.
I need. All right, you can't just fucking butt rape me. You know, I need to be told it's going to be all right. I need to be told that we're going to go out to dinner afterwards. You know,
They call you a good boy. It's like this whole thing. It's fine.
oh,
Don't
good
worry
boy,
about
that's
it.
my favorite. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, all right, Adam. How could people get in touch with you?
So if you want to get in touch with me, email me at wickensofgoodreptiles@gmail.com or just Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I'd be happy to talk to you, especially if it's about reptiles. If you're going to tell me I'm a good boy and come across the border, I probably won't respond to you.
I think you will. I think.
Well, I mean, I might.
I'm saying everything. I think you will. Right.
Yeah, don't tell her that, but yeah, I might.
Right. Well, you got to know how to keep it quiet. So,
Of course.
All right, Wickens Wicked Reptile on Instagram, right?
Yes, correct.
And do you have an actual .com website also?
wickenswickedreptiles.com.
Beautiful. Fucking Adam, hang out for 5 more minutes and I'll be right back, all right?
You got it. I'll
All
be
right.
here.
Fucking Adam, Wickens Wicked Reptiles. Fucking thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. All right. So listen, I guess we'll just blow this out of the water here too. Stewart Design, right? If you need quality marketing and branding, go to fucking Blake Stewart at Stewart Design. We were just talking about him over the last hour. So I appreciate you guys checking them out. And fucking they're a little pricey, but you get your money's worth with fucking Blake. I'll tell you that. And he's a former Marine, so you'll be supporting a vet-owned business. All right, guys, how did you like this live thing? I don't know if I love it yet, but I had a good time with fucking Adam. So this is the way it's going to be for a little while. So I appreciate all of you guys coming. I appreciate the fact that you stay around and look for the Fatman Nation rebrand going on this week on all the platforms. So I definitely fucking love you guys. And listen, I mean, here's the deal. Fucking, I know that the 15 minutes thing, this show, Fat Man Live, fucking Bronx Down Under, wouldn't be shit without fucking you guys. So don't think that that's lost on me. And I appreciate you guys. For Patreon people, do me a favor and cancel your Snakes in the Fat Man Patreon. The new Patreon is going to be the Fatman Nation, and you guys could come over, if you want, if you still like the stuff that we're doing, or you could not. It's totally up to you guys. I know I'm going to lose a couple of you that way, but I don't care because that's how much I believe in this whole rebranding thing. So definitely cancel your Snakes in the Fat Man Patreon. I don't want any of your money anymore. Well, I do want it, but I want it on the Fatman Nation. And we'll be doing a lot more on the Patreon because I got my niece to actually help me do some things. So it's going to be pretty fun. Hope you guys had a good time tonight, and I will see you in 2 weeks on the 15th. Don't know what day that's going to be yet, but check out my Facebook and Instagram, and you will then know. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys.